back, everyone, to total nonstop Impact talk for Impact fans right here on YouTube, Twitch, and wherever you get your podcast audio worldwide. Alicia, you always crack me up when you do that at the start of the show. I can't help myself.
Good intro.
Welcome to the show. Hey, you never know, right? You never know. So let's not hesitate. Let's jump right into this evening's stuff. I should say hi to you guys first, shouldn't I? That's a horrible host. Alicia, how are you doing? You've been a little under the weather the last few weeks. How are you feeling?
I'm good. Better.
Good?
Allergy season seems to be kicking in since we get these weird random warm days.
Oh, that's always nice. It's like, oh, hey, let's start the blooming of things, and then let's drop back down to like 10 degrees.
Well, what sucks for me is that it's like the wind is kicking up all the dead debris of the leaves that are left over from like fall and stuff, and that's a lot of what I'm allergic to. So, and it's really windy where I live for some reason, which I hate.
Apparently, Mayor here is quite the fan of you and says that the show has sucked without you. Thanks a lot, Mayor.
Are you saying it was plummeting?
The plummet
quite.
I don't think I have that much stock in this situation here, but thank you. It's good to be back.
They love you, Alicia. They do. You're a special part of the show. Jazz. I prefer the jazz hands. Oh, I don't know. All right. And Bill, how are you doing tonight? I saw you just a few minutes ago.
I know. Long time no see, Bo, man. Doing good. Although, I'll tell you, when you first asked that, I was wondering.
Which one's Jay?
Oh, no, yeah, that's right.
We'll figure that out in the first 5 minutes, I promise you. So, for those of you who don't know, there's been a little bit of news that's happened within the last 24 hours. Now, I know it may not pertain strictly to this brand that we talk about. Look at this. Eddie's already getting pissed at me. Look at his face.
Look at
this. Look. Oh, my God.
He's not happy about if we were to get this kind of news.
For that fake wrestling news. Don't believe anything that you read on the internet.
Bill, you took the smiling face right off Alicia. Was it? I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize for Bill. Alicia, was it too early? Was it too early for that?
Well, that makes a sad, angry Eddie. But we got the real news, J-Bone. The real news.
And thank you for the super sticker, Anna. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes,
much love.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Let's get into some real news, J-Bone.
We can certainly get into that.
Let's do it.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now, not fake wrestling news, real wrestling news, J-Bone's wrestling news. Come, J-Bone.
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
Oh, there's some news. Hey, Courtney, thanks. Courtney must be feeling better.
Oh, thank you,
Courtney. Much love.
Thank you.
And we hope you're feeling better, too. Courtney was talking to me earlier this week. She said she was, we'll just say she was illin. Critical Sting saying to reach for the sky. That's a great rat record. Anyways, I'm seeing all this stuff about, look at Twitter. Did they announce something on Twitter?
Yes, they did. Impact. Breaking news.
Oh! Let's go to, I'm looking it up right now. Hang on.
Well, I have it right here.
It's in your hands.
Do you know, well, hang on. Oh, Oh my goodness.
The
Okay.
multiverse. It's real, J-Bone.
It's damn real. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're gonna do a
This
little.
is getting so interesting, and it goes in. Maybe you should go over one part of news first, J-Bone, or do you want to go right to this?
We'll
They
talk
kinda all go
about.
together. They all go together.
We'll talk about this, and then we'll segue into what happened last night. Okay. All right. Breaking. Impact Wrestling presents multiverse of matches. Friday, April 1st from WrestleCon. Is this a separate show?
No, this is Impact show. Unless, hold on. You know what? Hold on. Or is this the New Japan show? I gotta. No. This is Impact show. I think that's what they're naming it now. The multiverse of matches, maybe.
That's cool.
Featuring Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers versus the Briscoes.
Ooh.
From Ring. They're saying they're from
Ring of Honor.
So they're representing Ring of Honor. Okay, so there's that constant right there. That's good to hear. Because for a while there, the Briscoes were just kind of floating out there with their titles. Like, all right, what's going to happen? We're all just eagerly awaiting while Briscoes get angrier and angrier by the week because those damn FTR boys.
Thanks for all of our Twitchers with the bits, Ray Line and Punk Nova. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right. I don't want to get in trouble and show that footage. Jiminy Christmas. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. So that is part of and the links are here if you want to go check out the info and the tickets. I'm not going to click on those. You guys can do that at your own leisure. So wow.
Or ticket.
So Good Brothers versus Briscoes. That you know what? I'm gonna guess that's a first time ever.
I don't know. Beats me.
Back if they did anything, it would be years ago.
Yeah, because
and conceivably with Ring of Honor.
Right, but I think the Good Brothers were in WWE at the time because it wasn't really that long ago.
Yeah, the link does go to their event for anyone wondering. It does go to the 9 p.m. show, Impact show, which the real interesting thing about that is it's real close to overlapping with the Ring of Honor show, J-Bone. Okay. That's at another location.
Oh, that was going to be my next question.
Not in the same building, not across the street. Yeah, that's what I thought, Bell's Boy. So
that's going to be an interesting WrestleMania weekend
for the New Japan for the IWGP titles.
Oh, okay. So, excuse me. So for American fans.
It's still huge compared to what that match was then compared to what it is today. It even has more relevance today. So that's huge. And honestly, the whole concept now is that going to be Impact show, a multiverse aspect where it's Impact versus other promotions for the whole show. Is it a supercard?
And they've done that too. They've done that before.
They did it with Lucha Underground, right?
Yeah, right. 1-on-1. But is it Ring of Honor for this match? Is it New Japan for another match? Is it another company for another match?
That'd be cool. Be worth it. I mean, all these places are together in the same spot for WrestleMania weekend, so it makes sense that they would do that. That's
they already got 2 shows, as Jay's here saying. After the Impact show will be the IPWF again. So they have 2 shows.
That's cool.
They have a midnight show. And I love me some midnight wrestling.
What a strange hour for wrestling. How intriguing.
That's when the freaks come out, J-Bone.
Yeah, I imagine.
Who are we kidding? It's a wrestling show. They're always out.
I was going to say, they're always in full force.
Well, that's the show you're going to see, unless they get destroyed in the other show, you're going to see Chad Too Bad and damn,
Sex Ferguson.
Sex Ferguson, yes.
That is name right, J-Bode.
Yeah. Well, at least I didn't say it wrong. I just couldn't remember it. It's been a while since we've seen those boys.
Can you hear that? No? Let me turn it up for you.
My bad. It's Jiminy Christmas. So yeah, that's awesome news. So let's segue that news into what happened. Oh, excuse me, last night. And I'm going to go to our local knockout, Alicia, for this, because I want to hear your opinion on the news that broke last night about Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor. I'm assuming you heard about it.
Yes. I'm not cool. It wasn't that what was always predicted. Like,
there was a couple things floating around, and I really didn't have any clue of what it was. I threw out a couple guesses, but I don't even remember what they were, honestly, at the time. Yeah, there's a few different things.
It's interesting, I guess, that he bought it considering all the Ring of Honor stuff that's going on in Impact right now. It's like we have one of their belts. Two of their belts? One of the belts? No, because Gresham still has his. Yeah, we have their women's championship. So it'll be interesting to see how this all bleeds together.
Yeah.
Like, clearly, it wouldn't be for too much longer if that's the case. Because whatever they're doing, they're going to want the belts in the same area, right? Maybe?
I would think so. I mean, Deonna Purrazzo could certainly go to Ring of Honor for a while, and certainly be a good champ. And she's still under contract with Impact Wrestling. I mean, she also has the AAA women's title. So, yes. I mean, she's all over the place.
She's a belt collector.
And I say the more the better, honestly, because it just shows how good. It's like, yeah, she may have their belt, but she's on our brand,
Right.
So. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. I'm big picture wise. I'm glad the brand is still alive. It's a good sign that it's going to keep going. But beyond that, we're going to have to just wait and see exactly what TK does with it.
I was going to say, it's like, yeah, it's still live, but under what context? Because like it's up for air. Like anything from until they announce things, it's fantasy booking. So.
Yeah, we don't know like where TV is going to land because it's he bought it from Sinclair, so I'm assuming it's gone from Sinclair as of a certain date. If it isn't already, I'm not sure. So yeah, we have to wait, and we just have to wait and see.
Yes.
I mean, I'm certainly excited for what's being announced for the what's it called, the Super Card of Honor. So I got a note passed to me earlier today from the guy that runs ringsidenews.com, and I'm just going to read a little bit of this. So Ringside News was told that talent have been informed that Super Card of Honor will be happening. Word going around is that the event is slated to take place April 1st in Dallas, Texas on WrestleMania weekend. We are also told that Super Card of Honor will not be the final ROH branded event. Talent have been informed or have informed us that they were told that as of this writing, television tapings are still on. But now, like I said, we don't know where that's going to land. So they're still taping stuff. So that's a positive. It'll probably end up on their network or whatever it's called.
Possibly. Although my sources at where that's supposed to happen with the television tapings that Ian Riccaboni alluded to at a certain venue in a certain city, due to the change, like Ring of Honor was set to do television tapings. Now, with the change, it's up in the air. It's not confirmed that set of tapings. So it still could happen. It's just not confirmed. Like the ink is not dry on the contract yet. So that could change, but it still could definitely happen. But it's still
let's just wait and see what happens at the Super Card of Honor show and just keep an eye on the socials, and I'm sure they'll be announcing stuff here and there. So
yeah, we will say this. The if you want my full reaction, I did it on the reaction show. So if you go to the beginning of that, you can kind of hear what I had to say on it. But
in that first half hour before we were actually watching Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, so if you go to the beginning of that, you can check that out.
There you go.
But in wrestling history, a number of companies have bought other companies. Many fans, unless you're a brand new fan of wrestling, you've probably seen mergers over the years where companies sometimes attempted to run them, sometimes didn't. Just the end usually is it's impossible. Nobody has long-term run a secondary company. So could it give brief life support to a brand name? Possibly. It's probably not better than that, though. And then all kinds of questions about TV and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens, hopefully for talent. But we do know it's confirmed. All Ring of Honor talent is free agents. They have 0 under contract as of March 1st. They either at the end of the year or March 1st, every contract expired from Ring of Honor. So technically no one's under contract.
Right. Yeah, like
Tony bought a tape library and what it sounds like is the name. So you can go from there. Try to utilize that name, can see what happens with it. I don't think, because Ring of Honor, we never saw it, has people clamoring on major TV. We saw Impact fight for TV all these years. Just because you have a 2-hour show on TBS and a 1-hour show on TNT and a bunch of YouTube content, that's very tough to get anything additional on major TV, especially not under your brand name. So I would think it would be 6 months to a year where they have to make Ring of Honor a huge name on their own again, because honestly, the Elite and the Bullet Club killed Ring of Honor. That's what happened to Ring of Honor. They got in bed with them. They all left, and the main event killed that brand. There were still some good people there that had good stuff to watch, but overall, the brand just died because of that. And now it's kind of crazy now, the connection.
Yeah.
It feels very WCW, ECW to me. Couple one-off events, and it'll probably it's sad to see, but there's a chance. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Yeah, I mean, reality.
Yeah, it's true. Well, we do know that with the world of free agency out there, it's Tony Khan's oyster. He could build whoever he wants on that brand and do whatever he wants with it. He can make it as glorious as he wants to and try to bring it back to what it was in the heyday, or who knows? I keep hearing that it's going to be a kind of a developmental for AEW.
Fantasy booking.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, like will it replace what Dark is? Maybe.
Fantasy booking.
Probably the best chance of its survival is if it replaced Dark. It would be my take on it, but I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll rely on their own brand name, other than some maybe events, like live events. Like maybe this becomes more of a touring brand because they only do TV. They don't really do house shows. So maybe this could be their live event house show avenue. Something like that. Maybe that's how it could work. But it's interesting. The other thing I know, I think I put it in our Discord, but you look at why any company would buy another company. And like in this situation, the video library, number one, because they've said they want to do streaming and stuff like that. You need content. They've only been around a couple of years. You need content. So that makes sense. The other one is you eliminate competition. And that's Ring of Honor wasn't as much competition anymore, but it's still something.
Their library was, right? Their library was valuable.
Library's the key. That's obviously what TNA has too. Like that, the library is the key.
Also, a lot of the old school Ring of Honor guys and like Chikara and stuff are currently employed at AEW. So take that into consideration of what they could do with it.
Oh, they can help promote the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like remember 6 years ago, if this was out there, there's probably no doubt WWE would have purchased that video library.
Yeah,
and like officially close the brand, maybe do a one-off show. And they would have been thrilled to do it because at that time, everybody now in AEW, they were all in WWE 5 years ago. So all Ring of Honor guys already made the first round, except for actually they all did because they were either in NXT or WWE 5 years ago. So now it's more valuable for them, and we know WWE doesn't see the value in doing that anymore. They already made their deal with Peacock. They don't really need to add that additional content.
Right. So yeah.
But let us know. Let us know if you're watching live in the chat or in the comments what you think about this. If you're a fan of it, if you're not a fan of it, do you think it will work? How do you think it will work? Definitely something to watch going forward. Obviously, we always wish the best all the talent and the workers at these places. If it can be a more opportunity for more, that's always good. More avenues, more chances to get on TV and stuff like that if it's possible. But it's wrestling, man, and it's tough for success.
Yeah.
We see it. There's so much wrestling already as is. It's really tough to make a dent. There's so many free agents. You could form a few more companies out there. But we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. And obviously the stuff with Mania Week, it looks like Ring of Honor is having their own show around the time Impact is. And now the Briscoes are being advertised as Ring of Honor on there. We don't know what these contracts really are. Like, is there almost going to be a Ring of Honor show and Impact having a show with a bunch of Ring of Honor former stars that looks more like a Ring of Honor show than this Ring of Honor show? That's possible. Who knows? It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, and I said this too about the whole, people were wondering about the whole Honor No More thing. And I said, look, we're not privy to knowing how long the Honor No More crew is sticking around. Like, was this kind of a test thing? And just for the sake of building a good story, invasion story, and keeping them employed until something hopefully got figured out. We don't know how long they're sticking around. I mean, I haven't heard any details or anything other than they help promote Impact Wrestling because they're on that brand. But I have no clue. Do you guys have any clue how long they're sticking around? Have you heard anything?
I haven't heard a length, but I would assume at least a year for everybody, maybe 2 years. That's kind of a norm for Impact contracts. Yeah. But I believed from the get-go that everybody that came in on that storyline is signed to Impact Wrestling.
Okay.
So I think PCO, Mike Maria, Matt Taven, Vincent, Kenny King, I would think they all have at least a 1 year deal.
Okay. And so yeah, it'll be interesting, and we don't know how they feel hearing this news about TK. Because, I mean, their futures were all completely up in the air. And
Impact, they were able to get jobs on a TV company And we still don't know anything. Like I said, like everybody's a free agent at Ring of Honor. Like the people you saw at Final Battle aren't all of a sudden working for TK today.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. He has none of them on the contract unless he already made a deal with them through AEW. Like then that's a possibility. Like Jay Lethal.
Right. Is he just going to stick Jay Lethal back in the Ring of Honor brand that he just purchased?
He could. Like these are all possibilities.
He's the boss, man. I mean,
but that's all depends. Once again, if it's on TV, if it's a storyline, if they just do Impact, the hottest storyline they had over the last couple months was Honor No More. It's very likely now you're going to see on AEW the same storyline play out.
Yeah,
with a group of Ring of Honor guys, maybe Gresham's part of it again, and them going and interacting with the AEW guys. If they really want it to succeed, that's probably the only way it can. Is you have to have that be a major storyline in that company before trying to do something on its own.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, we could fantasy book this till the cows come home, as they say. We just gotta wait and see. But so far, there's some very interesting moving pieces, being put into place now. So we'll see. And I'm gonna definitely try to stay on top of this because I want to see this brand get back to, get some shine on it. Get it back in front of the fans, get some really good wrestling. Just, if it's another hot wrestling show, hey, whatever, I'll watch it. I'll throw my money at it when I can. so we'll see. We just gotta wait and see. We have updates to the Sacrifice card. Let me just quick refresh the page here. Just make sure we got everything. Okay, so here's the latest that we found out towards the end of the show tonight on the Countdown to Sacrifice, which is the half hour leading into Sacrifice. That's on YouTube. Giselle Shaw versus Lady Frost. They've got some unfinished business. They also announced for the Countdown to Sacrifice within the last couple days, I believe it was, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett versus Rich Swann and Willie Max. Some great tag team action. We also found out tonight, and I want to hear everyone in the chat's thoughts. We just had one 2 weeks ago, but hey, we got one again. We got a champ challenge. Deonna Purrazzo throwing out that open challenge for Saturday night Sacrifice, putting the ROH Women's World Title or the AAA Reina de Reinas title on the line. So put it in the chat, folks, and we'll talk about this more as the show goes on. But let me know who you think is coming. Someone from the roster, some surprise. Who knows? As far as new matches, I think that's it. Oh, okay. So we found out who the Knockouts #1 contender is. Tasha Steelz. So it's going to be Mickie James defending against Tasha Steelz once more. Not disappointed in that. And that's it for as far as making up the rest of the card. And who knows? They might sneak another match in there somewhere.
It's loaded, though. It's loaded. No doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
2 weeks this card came together.
Yeah, and I know, like I saw some people complain about it, like, oh, it was too soon. But when you get a loaded show like this, I mean, like sometimes you just throw stuff on paper and it just looks awesome. It's like and
it's going to be a while because the next pay-per-view is Rebellion. There's not another monthly, so it's going to go from Sacrifice all the way to Rebellion.
And that's
April 24th, 4 for 5th, I think.
Well, they do have the WrestleCon show, so I think that's going to kind of have something to do with something.
Yeah, I don't think before. But remember, that was a Twitch show previously. I'm not sure how that's going to be aired. That's a good question.
So, Big Kev in the chat says, I'm just now leaving the office. You all better be ready for this weekend. Oh, are you saying that Sacrifice is going to be a really good show? Like maybe
I can't miss it.
A bangorama, maybe?
Well, will it be the start of the multiverse?
Oh, the multiverse of madness. Oh, wait, no, that's a
Marvel. The multiverse is real, J-Bone. Hey, it's Daniel Spencer, who was all over this show tonight, reffing everything.
He was. Wait, so multiverse. Are we gonna have like Venom show up and like challenge Joe Doering to?
Yeah, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
Did he wrestle in the Georgia territory, Venom?
Alicia's all in on this. Apparently, she wants to see Joe.
I know.
Doering
Yeah, totally.
versus Venom.
Joe Doering versus anybody.
She's either a really big Joe Doering fan or she really likes Venom. It's one of the two. The multiverse. I don't know. This is just crazy. Good evening, Daniel Spencer.
WrestleCon exclusively on Fight TV. WrestleCon, it looks like.
Oh, it is awesome. They're not going to hide it behind some weird show. Good. All right. Or some weird streaming service no one's heard of. Good. Okay. Fight TV. I depend on them. They're I should say they're dependable. They're dependable. Anything else in news before we jump into tonight's episode?
No, I think that's major news. Anybody wants to throw anything in the chat as we go along, feel free to add some news tidbits if you like.
And no, there's no updates on Cody.
Work.
What?
He's the new owner of Ring of Honor. Don't you guys know? I'm kidding. It's kettle fodder.
He's gonna run Ring of Honor. He'll be the new GM. No, I don't know.
It could be that bad.
Shit.
It could be that bad.
At this point, I wouldn't put it past anybody. I've seen some crazy shit this year, and it's only fucking March.
2022 is just telling the last 2 years, be like, hold my keg.
Oh, yeah.
Cody's got the pride away from Shane O'Mac first.
Oh, God. He's so sweaty. Anyway, let's get on with the show then, shall we?
We shall. We have March 3rd, 2022 Impact Wrestling. Excuse me, Jiminy Christmas. The go-home show for leading to this weekend's Sacrifice starts out hot. I was very excited to see this kick off the show tonight. We got Eddie Edwards versus Maclin. This did not end the way I wanted it to, but knowing the mindset of Eddie Edwards, none of us should be surprised. Maclin wins via DQ, and thanks to Kenny the Kendo Stick.
Damn Kenny.
Bill, your thoughts on this?
This was good. Good to see Maclin in the fray there. As I like to say, he was the hero we needed this whole time at Impact for Team Impact. He was always, because you can tell, like he just has, like I think this was really made Maclin, this feud, the Ring of Honor No More storyline. That he's like, he was a heel, and he needed, like we see obviously with the turn of Eddie, we needed faces. And this is where he came. Maclin became, now he's one of the biggest faces, especially in the main event type scene. But it was a good match. Obviously, Eddie had to use that kendo stick. Daniel Spencer, quick with the bell. Glad he saw it. But Eddie obviously looks like the winner coming out of this because obviously Maclin was down there, but he can say he beat him. So when this comes back up later, he's got some ammunition now, Maclin. So it'll be interesting to see where Maclin goes from here because technically he did score a win, and we see how that matters in Impact because later Chelsea's getting this title shot because she won by DQ. So depending on where Eddie evolves into, now Maclin does have a win over Eddie Edwards, multi-time world champion, one of the biggest faces of the company. So interesting to see where this goes, but we saw kind of what happened. Honor No More still looking very strong here.
Oh yeah. Honor No More's out there, and then Team Impact runs down and they start jaw jacking back and forth. Heath's down there, and this is interesting, this little go back and forth, because then we go to a commercial break and this turns into Vincent versus Heath. So, and this was, I was really excited for this because, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. I haven't seen a lot of Vincent before. I've seen very little from Ring of Honor in the past. Promos, character work, and I love Vincent. I think he's.
You dig what I'm saying, man?
Yeah, I like it. I like the look. I like his. It just feels very unpredictable. Like he could do anything and get away with anything. So Vincent versus Heath. Heath obviously needs a little warm up match before the big event this weekend. Alicia, what'd you think of this one?
That was good. It was interesting how they decided to start the show off with these two matches. It was good. Good to see more of Heath getting that big push. So yeah, I thought I was excited, and seeing more of Vincent. He gives me like a Charlie Manson kind of vibe. Especially, I guess that's like a quote he says, is that dig what I'm saying, man? That's like a total Charles Manson quote. I dig that. Right on. Yeah, it was a good match. Sorry, he's being extra clingy tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh, they need attention when they need attention. That's completely understandable. Mayor saying, J-Bone, didn't Heath have a last name? Bill, where's that soundbite?
Oh. Hold on.
Something about a boss or something?
He has a lot of sound bites.
I used to have a last name, but now a billionaire keeps it in a safe.
I forgot he said that shit. Yo, those promos were gold. I love that. I need a job.
For Impact.
Yes. Thanks to Impact. And thanks for Impact for, being patient with him too.
Yeah, it was a long time off, that year off, but due to injury, but came back, and then sadly had to miss that set of tapings due to protocols. But it's good to have him back here, killing it on the promos. Now back in there, and now he's going to be facing the Moose Man. But he had to get through Vincent, and Vincent's no slouch there, man. That he does that nice red rum off the top rope.
Yeah,
it's
nice. Impressive.
Yeah, like Jeff Hardy, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
Oh, it rivals it. I mean, it's like I said, I don't know a lot about Vincent, so I'll call some of his stuff unpredictable. After you've seen like 20 matches of Vincent's, okay, then you can kind of predict some stuff. But just his mannerisms and the way he behaves, it's very. I'll kind of compare him to Bray Wyatt, but I mean that as a compliment. I don't. Please don't take it as a. It's not. It's not meant to rip off Bray Wyatt. No, I'm just kind of
cult leader vibe. Yeah.
Right.
Kooky.
Yeah. Backwoods kind of yeah.
And it changed because I remember seeing him on the Indies as Vinny Marseglia most of the time, and he was part of the Kingdom. obviously with Bennett and Taven, and TK Orion at the time. But no, he's transformed himself. Like, because he always had that kind of look, like he liked like the horror movie Rob Zombie, but like he didn't have like the dreads and all that. Like he definitely transformed himself over the years. He always had the tats, but he really the gimmicks changed too. Like he wasn't like he was more just like more traditional. But it was, I think it's very unique. Like he's the one that kind of stands out because you look at everybody else in it that came in Honor No More. A lot of them had some type of connection to the company in some way, but he really didn't. So it's interesting to see him as part of this group. But he does obviously fit in, connected to Taven, who at the end they weren't getting along in Ring of Honor, and Bennett. But it's an interesting fit, and there's not somebody like that on the roster at Impact. So how we see later in the show PCO kind of separate himself, I could definitely see Vincent separating himself into some storylines, maybe some stuff with Decay at some point. Be pretty cool.
Some London Realm shit.
There's lots of options in Impact Wrestling. It's always kind of been like the island of misfit toys. There's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and
there you go.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I you're talking about all the different people coming in from Honor No More. It's kind of a misfit crew. You got Taven that looks really. He looks like a world champ. Bennett's a good tag team partner.
Well,
Vincent
even sold out Madison Square Garden.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes,
you might not have heard. He doesn't say it all the time.
Right. Vincent is on another planet of its own, and PCO is right behind him. So yeah, they all bring something different. So yeah. Cool crew. So Heath beats Vincent, which was a little predictable, but still a good match between both of them. Heath's got to look strong going in to face Moose this weekend. Trying to remember what happened after. I wrote down Honor No More, and I didn't write down anything after that. What happened after this? Did I miss something?
Oh, well, Heath wins and Moose comes out.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I started writing stuff down and
gives him the wake up call, and then Swan gives the 3 count. Like we see that at Sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. So 2 weeks in a row, he takes Hannafin said 2 weeks in a row he's taking down Moose, and Moose is just laying there in his suit like
I missed this somehow. That's funny.
It happened. It was pretty quick. If you blinked, you missed it. So yeah, it's all right. Now next, and we were talking about this, and we were trying to stay as politically correct while we were talking about this. It was very interesting, and you never know which way a company like Impact Wrestling is going to go with stuff that's tied to what's going on worldwide right now. And we're talking about what's next here is Masha Slamovich. Now, she's supposed to be from Russia, and we were just talking about something related to that, and then all of a sudden, boom! There she was on our TV.
We were talking about the company up north pulling their streaming service.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what we were talking about.
And Impact recently, a couple months ago, they signed a Russia TV deal.
Oh yeah, and someone in the chat was asking us about that. Okay, yeah, and we don't know exactly how that deal was going, as far as what they're streaming their content on. What channel? Is it a part of something else? Is it a package deal? We don't know. So I'm not going to, like, we heard about WWE pulling their stuff from Russia. That's fine. Everybody's pulling their stuff from Russia right now, given the circumstances. But I'm not going to sit here and tap my foot and point my finger at Impact Wrestling, be like, well, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? And you can't show Masha Slamovich and you have to pull your content and blah, 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 blah. Look, we don't know what kind of deal they have with Russia or even what they're showing it on. So I'm not going to sit here and, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and shake my finger at them, and I'm not going to judge what we don't know. As far as Masha, I'm sure there's going to be some fans out there that go, oh, how could they feature her? Blah, 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 blah. I'll say this. In my professional podcasting opinion, I think it's great that they still feature her, because we've seen this before where there was something controversial going on either in the company or surrounding the company, and they pulled content that had already been taped for TV. So, given the circumstances, they have not pulled this segment. They have not gotten rid of or let go.
Why? My question is why would they even? Because she's just Russian. Like, that's it. It's not like they're pulling some weird storyline like that. They can't fire her because she's Russian. She's got nothing to do with what's going on in Russia.
No, and I know that.
Like,
I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying you never know how these companies are going to. My point is, you never know how these companies are going to react to stuff.
they
never
might mention it less.
Right. And one
her
thing
gimmick isn't Russia, so I just don't really understand.
It's a gimmick. One thing if they were heavy into a gimmick like that, just build. She's only really build from there, and her entrance has the flag in the background. That's really the extent of her gear, I guess. So there's just very little things there. Not heavy use as
it's not.
It could be. Like we were talking about, it seems crazy now what happened in like the 80s and 90s when our country was at war with countries and they were like going so anti-America, but yet everyone like, yeah, wrestling. Today, it doesn't seem like any of that stuff would fly today. But luckily they don't lean all in. And it's the same thing. Like my comparison earlier was like in the NHL, like there's obviously a ton of Russian hockey players playing on American teams right now. Ovechkin and with the Capitals and all that.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything there, but I get the issues with stuff over there, like the whole importing and stuff like that. Like those are issues out there, but that's not really where this is affected. But if it was a heavy storyline, like I used, who showed up on BTI, like Sam Adonis did a really like Heath angle in Mexico in that 2016 to 2020 era, if you get what I'm saying. And like that's crazy heat. Like some companies, like more in indie, they might, some of them probably already are going to lean into stuff like that. TV companies won't. So I think that's all you'll see from Impact, and that's fine. And once again, nothing to do with the people involved there, obviously, because you're talking about one crazy guy out there, and almost nobody else agrees with him in the world. So nobody, like the other people, aren't at fault for that.
Right. And I think it'd be different if Masha was featured like doing a bunch of controversial promos, like pro Putin or something like that. She doesn't. She comes out, she doesn't say anything. She whips another woman's ass in like less than a minute, and she's done. She's gone. So there's nothing really remotely controversial about it. Like I said, you just never know how wrestling companies are going to treat a situation like this. Are they going to treat it with extreme prejudice, or are they going to be like, all right, well, this what we're doing with her ain't bad, unless there's like a crazy amount of backlash on social media. I haven't heard anything.
No, but it will be
And I don't
interesting
want
to see
anything.
with upcoming tapings. Treat the same, or does it get altered in any way? That'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. With what they're doing now, I think they can just keep doing what they're doing for a while. Honestly, what do you think, Alicia?
Yeah, sure. Like, I think she's fine.
I hope nothing changes.
She'll be taking out more people.
Less squash matches. I hope that's the only future we get from Masha is less squash matches, because it's a downgrade to her talent.
In the long run, yeah. Like, you want to see
how long has she been with us doing matches? And it's been this for 2 months, like almost 2 months. Like, that's, and the same with Jonah. We'll get into that, but
I really wanted to see a good, solid 10-minute match between Swinger and Jonah.
Well, yeah, we all did.
yeah, Swinger would have rocked him. All right. So anyway, let's move on with this review.
All right. So Masha Slamovich versus Raychell Rose, is that it? Takes her out very
Squash
quickly.
of the week.
Squish. it's a squish. Next, we get a very good G.O.D. promo. Tama Tonga talking about taking care of business tonight.
Yes, sir.
And I love how he was like in the camera, and how he was saying that this is personal now. The point was, he was saying, Jay White, we brought you into Bullet Club and you kicked us out. This. So yeah, when you look at it like that, that's pretty crazy.
Well, since we have Jay White here, we should mention, we didn't mention in the news, but for also at WrestleCade during WrestleMania week, announced today at the New Japan show, Jay White versus Speedball Mike Bailey. Talk about a fantasy booking dream match right there. That's a show for the weekend right there.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. So and then VBD gets in here, and they're going to be working together. They may not, totally look at things on the same light, but they're going to work together, and they both have the same goal, and that's take out Bullet Club. So
now, J-Bone, I have the question, well, for you and Alicia here. As we see this, we see VBD and the Guerrillas of Destiny go against the Bullet Club. Who are the faces, if there are any, in this match? Is it the Bullet Club, or is it VBD and Guerrillas? Because they were the ones.
Yeah.
Neither, because sometimes it's okay to have two heels or two faces in a match.
Well, that's crazy.
I said it. Oh my god, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. You all were thinking it, and I just had to say it. It's possible. It would probably be more interesting.
Yeah, this is horrible.
It is.
J-Bone's mine.
The opinions.
Sadly, I understood about half of that.
What? I'm so confused. No, you have to have baby faces. You have to have heels. Oh, I'm kidding.
Well, you might see a lot of this in Impact, because we talked about once they switched Eddie, there's not a lot of faces right now, especially up in the higher spots in the card. Maclin's one of the biggest faces, and you have Team Impact. That's about it. That's your faces.
Yeah, this is true. Very true. So cheer for who you're going to cheer for, and boo who you want to boo. That's how wrestling has always been, in a sense.
That's right.
You don't always have to listen to, oh, well, you got to cheer this person and boo that. No.
It's like John Schuyler. Boo him every time.
What? No. No, Bill. That's not how we do that. Damn it. Do I have to fire you too? No, I'm kidding. All right. So next we got Mike Bailey, Ace Austin in a segment here.
Yeah.
Mike Bailey's pretty excited about tagging with Ace Austin.
Should be.
Now, I didn't catch what he said towards Fulton.
It's what he didn't say towards Fulton that I would be interested in. And it's he basically set it up, the seeds of dissension of being like, oh yeah, me and Ace can be a great team and fuck Fulton. Excuse my English.
Your French is exquisite. It's all right. Yeah, so Fulton has to be held back from Ace, and I'm excited to see this tag team together. Do I think it's going to last? No.
Bailey's got something.
It's been a bangorama.
Bailey's got what?
Never mind.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, so next we got Madison Rayne versus Cassie Lee. Knockouts action going into this weekend. And the Knockouts tag team, one half of the Knockouts tag team champions, stands tall here. Fun match back and forth.
You barely made it through the entrances, J-Bone.
Dare I say I was mildly smitten by the gear. The tag champs looked lovely. Your thoughts on this?
Well, Alicia, what were your thoughts on seeing this? Well, and Kaleb out there.
The 100th time in a row, it's hopefully going to come to a conclusion soon.
It's been a while.
I love everybody involved. I hope that probably makes me sound like an Uber cunt, but who gives a shit, right? I love everybody involved, but oh my god, there's more people. There is another team, so I guess we'll just ride this out until there is another one.
Well, there's Decay.
Is there though? Because it's like, who knows anymore?
They need more tag teams.
Yeah.
or something.
Or they need to fit, I feel like this has been the same situation. We were just different outfits for weeks now, and I'm kind of just over it. That's all. Put Kaleb with the inspiration. Let's just get the elephant out of the room and moving along there, Betty. You hit the bricks, honey. I don't know what to tell you.
We'll find out at Sacrifice.
God, I'm horrible. Jesus Christ.
Obviously, good stuff with Kaleb as usual on the outside. The whole having Jessie in the arms and having Madison Rayne freak out was good. I think we all see where this is going. I think we all see where this is going. Kaleb / Tenille. Tenille's not giving any signs. Kaleb's giving all the signs he's going to turn and join with the inspiration. But right now, Tenille's not. But loyal. That's her fellow countrywomen. So you got to imagine she's doing the same thing at some point. And I still have my dream, J-Bo. It's just a dream of
Tell
a
us your
TNA
dream.
fan. The dream is you get the Inspiration, 3 members, plus Kaleb with a K, going against a reformed version of the Beautiful People. The greatest knockouts team in Impact TNA history.
And who's going to be in that?
Angelina Love, 5-time knockouts champion. Madison Rayne, because she's going to have to come back.
Yes.
And then, obviously, Velvet's got to play a role in there somewhere. But then there's the third member, someone from Ring of Honor. Is it somebody new? Is it the quintessential diva? I don't know. Does Lacey Von Erich come out of retirement? Who knows?
Oh, wow.
Or it's a new signing. You never know. But it's that a version of the Beautiful People versus the Inspiration. Come on. That's a moneymaker.
That's money. That's money.
Or it could be a birthday girl. Zach Bonifer says it's Mandy Leone's birthday, who was part of the Allure, which was the Beautiful People version of Ring of Honor. But I'm not totally against what Alicia just gestured with her hands on that one.
She's not a fan of hers.
I think you could probably do better for the Beautiful People.
Oh, was that bad timing? I was reading the comment. My bad.
Oh,
Sorry. That wasn't towards her.
we just assumed that was.
Because I wasn't looking. I was like reading, and I said it because I was like reading the comment. I'm sorry. Not towards Mandy.
All right. So and I've seen her on Ring of Honor in promos and stuff, but I've never seen her wrestle. How is she? Is as a wrestler, is she okay? Did she stand up to the others, or
I don't know.
I think let's just say in the Ring of Honor division over those years, she could look okay. In the knockouts, which I consider the top level of women's wrestling, I don't think she'd fit. I think it's just asking too much. Maybe if you're talking like trios type tag matches, you can hide a little bit of stuff in there. So maybe you could get it on Persona and some finally executed mutes. Like honestly, like obviously Velvet Sky was a multi-time tag champion. Is she the best worker? No, I think she's better than a lot of people give her credit for. But Angelina was obviously the better wrestler of the two. So they don't all have to be fantastic work rate wrestlers. I don't agree with that. But like I said, I think you could possibly remember Brooke Tessmacher has won another run. She was never part of the Beautiful People, but throw her in there. Why not?
Or instead of the Beautiful People, I see some another stable being thrown out into the chat here. The Dollhouse, yeah.
Back.
It'd be cool, just hypothetically saying, is they could add, Sienna as a member of the Dollhouse, a new formed Dollhouse, because obviously, what's her name wouldn't be involved with it. Oh God,
Marty Bell?
Not Marty Bell. Oh God, who started it? The blonde chick. What's her name?
Tara Terrell.
Thank you. She's retired?
Well, no, she just came back in NWA.
Oh.
She just wrestled for the NWA Women's title.
Well, then, she can stay over there, and we'll just reform the Dollhouse with Mia Yim, Marty Bell, and.
Well, you could, but honestly, remember, everyone thought Mickie James was NWA and stuff but she's been full-time Impact. So I would think. Let's look, and remember, Tasha Steelz, the #1 contender, she was NWA. I don't think their contracts are too holding up. And obviously, Mid Cardona is hanging out there all the time. So we can bring
NWA, and I just draw a blank. Are they still a thing? Are they doing stuff?
Doing stuff.
What's up with that?
Ish is a good word.
They're doing stuff ish. I mean, I look at it like this. I mean,
I
they still have
MLW. Like, oh, sorry.
Well, and it's honest, a lot of them are like that right now. They're kind of there, but they're sort of around, but they're sort of not.
I get it. Times are strange. I get that.
If you don't have a TV deal, it's really tough to say where you're at as a wrestling company. Are they still putting on events? Yes, NWA is. But so is MLW. But can you really catch up with them? Like we went over when Matt Cardona won the NWA title. No one really knows about it because they didn't really show it.
Yeah, and that really upset me. Like, I don't understand how you do not put that in front of the world. That's a huge title change. It's supposed to be one of the most distinguished wrestling world titles around, and you want to try to shine some light on it, take it off a guy. No offense, but I can't even think of his name that he beat it.
Oh, are you talking Murdoch?
Trevor Murdoch. I mean, come on. Like, I get the throwback, kind of looked like Dusty and whatever. I get it. But that's not going to put butts in seats.
And that's the thing. I know Anna and all saying, like, NWA, yeah, they do. They tape a YouTube show. Like, they're on the flight. I forget now. Because, we had, like, the world title match and everybody knew the answer to and who won. That hasn't aired. Or maybe it just aired. So they are doing stuff. It's just the way of the YouTube and stuff without TV or just live shows that you're airing on like a provider. It's tough to keep up with all those promotions and what they're doing. Honestly, that's what happened to Ring of Honor with their TV. Like it fell really behind. Like it's not fresh. That's what Impact's doing with these short tapings. It's even though they're taping stuff, it's quick turnaround. Like you're not getting as much out there. Like you're not being like, oh, I know what happens.
Is Tyra still a champ over there? Because
I believe so, but I don't know.
Yikes!
What a weird champ.
Like I used to like him back in the day when he was, dancing and stuff for the WWE, and he was great with the kids and stuff. But now he's like 500 pounds and he can barely breathe. It's like, dude, no, it's not. No.
Yeah, so
back to the review. We're back on track, I promise. All right. Cassie Lee beats Madison Rayne.
She does.
And the Knockouts tag titles will be on the line Saturday night. Then we get a hell of a promo about Jake something. This was great. I popped for this. Oh, Alicia, you've got to see this. You've got to see it.
Yeah, like it was like a back-to-back. Like they kind of did like a commercial for like Impact, sort of, but then they followed up with this promo video. And at first we weren't sure what it was. Then it's like, oh, this is like a big focus on Jake something that cool. I think everyone's waiting for. And honestly, after seeing this, I think we got a new X Division champion come Saturday night.
That's exciting. Did the dude deserve it? Come on now. Let's be realistic here.
It's just great. And I said this during the live reaction. It's great to see it. And I think some people took it the wrong way. But I feel like he finally got some people at Impact Wrestling to change their minds about him. It seemed like he was a little, what do they say, lost in the sauce. It was kind of just lost, no direction, not doing this, not doing that. He'd win some, he'd lose some.
Yeah.
And
no rhyme or reason to what they were doing with him.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And now, being a monster in the X division, and I kind of had a feeling that this is where they were going to go with Jonah, kind of throw him towards a throwback Samoa Joe type thing. But they're not doing that yet. I think they still may. But if you're going to throw Jake something in that role, now Jake has impressed me. And if you folks have not seen what Jake has done on the indies, please take some time and check it out. What sold me, like I've liked him. I liked this comedic stuff he did with Diener. I thought that was fun for what it was at the time.
They took our beers.
But yeah, they took our beers. But I started really paying attention to his indie matches because that's where he was like wrestling his best stuff besides the comedic stuff in Impact Wrestling. Go find the match he did with Josh Alexander, was it a few months ago in AAW? The 20 minutes time limit draw, I believe it was. Oh my God. These two guys killed each other for 20 minutes. It was amazing. And it's stuff like that that showed me that Jake something is, he's, pardon the pun, he really is something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when you have time, Alicia, please go check this
Yeah,
out.
I'll have to see that.
I'm sure they'll throw it up on YouTube. Bill, what do you think about this?
No, I'm a fan. We've kind of been seeing it, and that's the thing. I know everybody always gets all kinds of up in arms, and somebody on the roster might lose a match here or there, or it feels like somebody else is getting the push. But it's a limited roster. Somebody's got to lose unless you do a bunch of squash matches, which they're doing more that help establish people. But so guys like Jake something, like unless you're at, but even guys at the top of the card, like they lose matches. You only have so many Johnny Swingers on the roster. So Jake at times was taking losses. Heath had taken losses, like Man Fulton had taken losses, but then they come back around. Ace Austin, like until recently with the Mike Bailey stuff, he was taking a lot of losses. Chris Bay was taking a lot of losses, but now they're kind of on the upswing again. It all depends on when they're needed, where you can sort of back burner them without really hurting them. And I think Jake's like, anytime Jake would lose, nothing for Jake, no direction. But yet when they put him in the X division, that was the direction for Jake. That's where he really came into his own when they put him in the X division.
That first surprise match he had with Heath about a year ago, whatever it was, last summer, I think, maybe, give or take a little. I forget, I'm trying to think of the time. That was a great sign. Well,
yeah, and then they were kind of, you kind of see it's a slow build, like they did that deconstruction of Jake, all the way from
you had to.
It wasn't Jake. It went all the way, and now it's really coming into his own now, where he's got a lot of big wins. If you look at it over like the last month or two, he's gotten some big wins lately. And now with this X Division title match against Trey, I don't know. I think it's close. It could go either way. I don't feel real strongly on like, oh yeah, Jake's definitely winning, but I don't think Trey's definitely winning either. This would not be a surprise at all because it feels like Jake is riding more momentum right now than Trey is.
They didn't feature Trey at all this episode unless I missed something.
They didn't? No, we didn't see Trey in this episode. We saw him last week. We saw him a little last week.
Right.
But then but once again, he missed that set of tapings like Heath before that. Florida, a lot of people missed it. So it kind of gives, and Jake was there and he really made an impact during that set of tapings. So he's got the momentum now. Now Trey could still retain, but this is huge. Jake's getting that push.
There you go. So yeah, nonetheless, really looking forward to it. Mickie James on commentary then for Tasha Steelz versus Chelsea Green to find out who is going to be the number one contender to face Mickie James at Sacrifice for the Knockouts Championship. Fun match between these two. This one really could have went either way. Tasha Steelz wins here with the help of Savannah Evans. What'd you think of this, Alicia?
It's a good match. They're definitely setting up some seeds to be bloomed in the near future. But a couple things I would like to point out is, one, the audience got a Tasha chant going And then when Savannah took Chelsea out, someone in the audience loudly thanked Savannah for doing so.
Oh,
And I would just like to say Tasha was the fan favorite of this match. As in, I'm sorry, I want to see the Impact Championship belt on Tasha, so I hope she wins.
The jersey.
yeah, and we all have been a fan of Tasha since she was,
Fire and flavor, babe.
the flavor and the fire, and they were so much fun. I mean, yeah, their situation wasn't the greatest, but they made the best of it together.
2-time knockout tag champion.
2 times, yes.
Also, Tasha has come into her own so much. Like, I feel like if I had to pick between her and Chelsea, I feel like Tasha stands out more and seems like the stronger choice.
Yeah. And it leaves, I mean, if you do that with Tasha, say she beats Mickie James, maybe, it leaves room for something to happen between Chelsea and Mickie, and we've talked about that too a little bit.
Right.
So it makes sense. We'll have to see what happens this weekend. But Bill, what'd you think of this? That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, that's all you need to say. But Tasha was good in this match. It was good back and forth. Chelsea was good too. But obviously Mickie there, I think you were saying it while it was going on, while Mickie was on commentary. Chelsea paying a little too much attention to Mickie on commentary, kind of getting a little distracted, it seemed, in there. And Tasha was able to take advantage of that with the help of Savannah. And definitely Tasha, for a while, she's straddling that line of she's definitely the heel persona, but the crowd definitely, she has fans.
Yeah.
It was probably, I wouldn't say it was majority, but it was a strong vocal minority of the fans that were cheering her for months. But now it's getting close. And especially with what Matt's doing, that's not helping Chelsea in the fan department because you had the pro Cardona crowd, but now that he's gone pretty much full heel, that's not helping Chelsea by proxy.
Chelsea's a better heel anyway. Hate to say it.
And there's honestly, most wrestlers are the better heels. Much juicier role there. To be a good face, you got to be special to be a good face.
You got to be Allie, bro. You got to be Allie. That is the dictionary term for heel or for face.
Right.
That is.
Not to change the subject, but I was just quick looking at the Twitch chat, and I noticed that there were some subs given away. Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Boke.
If you want to gift any subs away, they are 20% off right now on Twitch. So if you're Team Twitch, consider that. There you go. All right, we continue. Had to throw that in there. So yeah, I'm very excited for this the rematch, if you will, Tasha versus Mickie James. And the look that Mickie James gave Chelsea at the end was very. You could take it a few different ways. Like, was she disappointed in Chelsea? Because she really wanted to see Chelsea get this shot. I don't know why she was like.
But she also had like a bird's eye view of Savannah kicking Chelsea's head off of her shoulders. So disappointment would be the dickhead thing to do. I think it was more of a, oh girl, you're in trouble.
Mickie also didn't do anything towards Savannah when that happened.
Well, she got up, but the commentators were like, "Oh no, Chelsea told you not to." Also, what was she gonna do in that dress? Come on. Nothing. Not a damn thing.
Although Mickey definitely is one of the best that can do stuff in the heels. Like she acts like those heels aren't even on. Like I've seen her run up and down the ramp and that, run around in the ring and do stuff in heels. It's like,
well, that's
crazy.
training 101. When you first buy your high heels, you have to do the football training camp in them. Don't guys know that?
What is
I guess not. I give away secrets anyway, yes. But that dress, on the other hand, was going to disagree with anything physical she tried to do. That double-sided tape would have been a gift of God if it held up.
J-Bo's investigating double-sided tape as we speak.
I'm just lost.
Double-sided tape, sponsored podcast. Thank you. For J-Bo.
I've just completely lost. No clue what's happening here. I'm not privy to all this.
Also, can I put in, what if we're getting another red herring and instead of Chelsea turning on, Mickey as we're all expecting, what if Mickey goes heel and is like, fuck that bitch. Like, come on. Hardcore country. Hardcore country.
Oh.
Mickey's been heel. Not
she's
really
a good heel.
Alexis Loray, one of the great first initial knockouts.
She could go heel and turn Chelsea Green into the hot mess, but the hot mess is more of a babyface hot mess. Like, do you see that? Well, because before when she did the hot mess, she was drunk, she was falling down, she was truly the hot mess, and she's like, no.
It's kind of hard to be a hot mess without that.
Well, when she came back,
that's what I'm talking about.
That was the face hot mess, like when she did the Two-Face dress, like where she's half Chelsea, half hot mess.
Yeah,
that's her face way of kind of being the hot mess. The rest of the time, she's kind of Chelsea Green.
Or here's the swerve. She comes back as Laurel Van Ness.
Oh, now that's that. There you go.
Oh.
That's for the deep cuts.
And she's honestly nowhere near Matt right now. Matt's doing all this champ stuff where he's like the world champ. And
we get to see him in the next segment.
Yeah, this is true.
Yes.
So, yeah.
What the truth is, you're nothing but a mid-Cardona.
Mid-Cardona. Was he trying to call him like a mid-card boner or something like that?
That's even a better one. Instead of mid-Cardona, mid-card boner.
I like that. I'm going to start chanting that.
Mid-card boner.
Mid-card boner. No, it'll probably make...
I resemble that. So Matt Cardona is he's trying
Matt Cardona.
Trying to get the attention of the guy he's walking next to, and he's showing him all the footage of how he beat Jordan Grace. He's still bragging about this. He's like really tired. And he's trying to, just brag to everybody. He gets into an argument with two other guys that are looking for a backstage pass because they just want to make sure that they know who he is. He's upset about this. He's like, I'm the world champ. I don't need no backstage pass. And then he's talking. Now, who was the last guy he was talking? You said you
Kenny G.
Kenny G. No, different Kenny G.
Yeah, not famous clarinetist.
He's the Impact masseuse.
Masseuse.
I have seen that penis.
Really? He's not an actor or anything? Is he an actor? Because I feel like I've seen him in like a movie or something. He looks very familiar.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Kenny G might, maybe he does a little side job. Jay, but you know about side action. Maybe he was.
I no.
You sure don't.
I'm a married man. What are you talking about, Bill? Gonna get me in trouble. Jiminy Christmas.
He became a heavy Southerner in this segment.
All of a sudden.
I don't know.
Good
Nothing. Look here. Listen. Oh, shit.
I swear on my mother's peach pie. I don't know what y'all talking about. All right. Next we got so I don't know. Is that one of those like surprise matches we may get this weekend? Is Matt Cardona like coming down to the ring like hooting and hollering and I'm not going to defend this, and then coach comes out, well, you know what? Yeah, you are. Here's Kenny G. No, I don't know.
Yo, this comment has, I'm dying.
Would a jazz flute be allowed?
The fact that you know this.
Correct. Love himself some Kenny G.
Bonus Baby says Kenny G plays the alto sax, damn it, not the fucking clarinet. They all look the same.
No, they don't. But I could have sworn in my memory it was always a clarinet. No. A clarinet is still this way. That's a flute. He would be a flutist if you went that way.
I thought it was like the saxophone or something.
Just be glad I didn't say recorder, okay?
I've heard of the recorder. My kids were great on the recorder. All right.
You gotta play the recorder in school.
Yeah.
I don't. This is a weird concept to me because when I went to school, that was not a thing.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Critical State giving us some woodwind instrument knowledge.
Yeah, I know they're two separate things, but my mind memory didn't see the sax. It's just him playing the clarinet. It decided to what is that? Mandela effect the situation.
This one time at band camp. Oh shit.
All
right. We don't want to hear about band camp. All right. Next, we got Swinger.
Hey, why don't you want to hear about Bandcamp, J-Bone?
Nothing good happened at band
In my ass.
Good.
Jiminy Christmas. Next, we got Swinger versus Jonah. Match of the night right here, folks.
Squish.
Damn right.
Squish.
I don't know what happened quicker, the Masha Slamovich match or this one. I'd have to go back and check the timing.
I want my pizzles back.
You're gonna need some pizzles after this one. Jonah, some pain pizzles. Jonah defeats him, and then very interestingly. So Jonah is like, the crowd is like cheering him on. Poor Swinger. They want him to like give him another.
Disrespect.
What is the name of the splash? Again?
A natural disaster type move. Tsunami.
Tsunami. Yeah, I think that's a great name. That's just awesome. So he goes up to the top rope. He's about to give him another tsunami after the match is done. And all of a sudden, thank you, Mayor, tsunami. And then PCO comes out because that's the match that, was it Gail Kim gave him that match last week?
Yes.
Because he was asking.
Yeah.
Because he was, Jonah was asking for some real talent. And, no more of these ham and eggers or whatever, and then the biggest ham and egger shows up and wants another Another shout at him. Jeez, Swinger just doesn't know when to stay down. So PCO comes out, and man, PCO is just all fired up. He's a different kind of beast. What did you think of this when PCO came out?
Wow, this was awesome. This is like I've had a little bit of a tease with this one because I seen this on the Indies not too long ago. But PCO, one of my favorites. Jonah, really liking, even though Jonah keeps going against some of my favorite members of the roster and beating them up too much. But PCO, big guy, crazy stuff, much more aerial than you would expect. Jonah, very similar. This is going to be a fun match. This is a definite show stealer possibility at Sacrifice. Because PCO, he's not human. And Jonah's not, it's not going to be easy. Jonah's had it pretty easy, except for Josh, who he lost to. He tapped Josh.
Yeah.
So we'll see. This is PCO is going to be tough for PCO to come out on top in this one.
He's not human, man.
And who knows? Maybe Honor No More gets involved. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. What do you think, Alicia?
Not much to add. I didn't really see this part of the show. Somehow all these segments happened, even though I watched. I wasn't out of the room. I somehow missed it. So that happened a lot tonight, I'm noticing.
You didn't want to see Swinger get another tsunami, so you covered your face.
You know what? Because it was Jonah and I knew it was going to be a squash match, I think I might have left the room. That's why. It's hard to remember.
Okay. It's okay. So yeah, I'm very excited for PCO versus Jonah. PCO's a different kind of beast. Jonah's really coming into his own. The crowd certainly seems to love the tsunamis. So yeah, we'll see what happens at Sacrifice. We got Mean Giamilla backstage with Deonna Purrazzo. And we find out that this Saturday at Sacrifice, we're going to have another champ challenge.
Champ.
We're going to get a surprise to see who's going to come out and challenge Deonna Purrazzo for either the women's Ring of Honor women's title or the AAA Reina de Reinas title, their women's title. And then Giselle Shaw comes out, and she's looking like she wants a piece of that action. And then Lady Frost comes out and says, "Oh no, hold up! You and I have unfinished business." And that's when we get the match that's getting put on the countdown, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I thought this was really funny seeing Giselle Shaw come out, especially with her little Uncut Gems segment with how she pronounced her name. Giselle Shaw? Uncut Gems. Sorry, if you guys know who Julia Fox is, then you understand the Uncut Gems reference. But Giselle definitely did that when she said her own name. She said, Giselle Shaw. Giselle Shaw.
Is that the Netflix?
She's not the champ.
Is that the Netflix movie you're talking about?
I don't know. I just know that this Julia Fox chick dated Kanye West, went on some podcast, and then pronounced it Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems. I've been used for Uncut Gems. Sorry.
Very good Adam Sandler movie. Much different.
It's a very good movie.
No, I don't mean that, bitch. Wow, that's aggressive.
What's that?
Jesus Christ, Mir.
Wow. What?
Why?
I have no clue what he's talking about.
Well, let's just take it back to the champ.
I am the fucking greatest.
Fucking greatest.
That's right. Of course he is. Not going to deny that. So we will find out who is going to, and please, we want to hear in the chat, who do you think is going to come out and surprise all of us, especially Deonna Purrazzo?
Gary might have it. Tony Khan will probably come out and challenge Deonna for his ROH Women's title on Saturday.
I highly doubt that. Good evening, Gary. Any quick guesses, Alicia?
No, because I hate this. I hate doing that. No, I have no guesses.
No? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who will challenge Deonna, but my prediction more is after Deonna's match, Ty of Valkyrie appears.
Oh, please save us. Deliver us from evil, Taya.
Certainly. I mean, she's got to have something coming up real soon because she's already done with production on that music video that apparently is on her Patreon or whatever her OnlyFans type thing is. Whatever her
For reals.
For reals. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We're getting a few names in the chat there. Terrence says Angelina Love. Oh, could be. T. Hughes says Tay Conti. Oh, all right.
Okay.
Mayor has my vote. I said Athena. I'd love to see Athena. We'll see. But yeah, let us know what you think. Then we got the main event, VBD and G.O.D. versus the Bullet Club. Good Brothers, Bay and Jay White. This was bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. To the point that Coach D'Amour had to come out, give them all a spanking. No, I'm kidding. He shook his finger at him.
Good job, Scott. Good job.
Yeah, there we go. See? And started the match over, only this time it was no DQ because was it Brian Hebner?
Brian Hebner.
Not
Hebner.
Earl. Not Earl. Oh, Earl would have had a stroke and rolled out of the ring. Brian Hebner completely losing control. Good thing this became no DQ. And then, Hebner's going to have to run for the hills. Watch out for those swinging chairs and all that stuff. We had all sorts of weapons getting used. Another one of those where everybody got their shit in. It was a lot of fun. You really didn't know who was going to win. But it made sense here because, knowing where G.O.D. is at this point, you kind of know what's going to happen. Bullet Club does get the win here going into the weekend. So we'll see. We'll see. G.O.D. has gone to Japan because Tanga is part of the G1.
I believe so, yes.
I believe. So he's quarantining right now in Japan, getting ready for the G1, whatever that is, the tournament. So good luck to him. Sadly, we're not going to see G.O.D. around for a while, but I have absolutely no doubt that they will return to Impact Wrestling within the next, hopefully, maybe late spring, early summer, my guess. We'll see how long.
Anniversary. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I know they're going to at least come. And no matter if Good Brothers have the titles or not, the feud is still going to be alive. So we'll see. But VBD has the title shot against the Good Brothers this weekend. But this was just a lot of fun. What'd you think of this, Alicia?
I'd be able to tell you if I saw it.
Oh, no.
Oops. I was in the room, but I completely, they left the ring at one point, and every time, and this happens in any match, and especially if I'm watching it live, I just completely zone the fuck out because it's like I can't see shit anyway. So, even though via TV I can kind of see what's going on, I just revert back to as if I were at a live show, and it's like, well, I guess I'll check my phone, and then it was over. So, who won?
Bullet Club.
Okay, cool. Wait, which Bullet Club?
Bullet Club. The Good Brothers are in the Bullet Club now. So
Again?
Yes, this happened. Oh wait,
did they ever leave when they were always the Bullet Club? No, you know what? I'm not getting into this rabbit hole. You guys continue.
No. Well, okay. So you was it last week you missed? You missed last week.
Yeah, they were OG Bullet Club.
I actually watched the show. I just wasn't part of the review.
Okay. So, just a quick recap. Jay White turned on G.O.D, who were in the Bullet Club, and switched out Good Brothers with G.O.D. So, Good Brothers, who were in the Bullet Club a long time ago, are now back in. So,
but weren't they with what was it when Kenny was you know what? No.
It's once the Super Elite or whatever formed, that's when the Good Brothers left the Bullet Club, technically.
Okay.
They left with AJ.
Cleared up. All right, duly noted.
Yeah, they left with AJ. Cody Rhodes joined for a little bit, and that's when Bullet Club was fine. Remember that t-shirt?
That was the dark era of the Bullet Club. Anything involving Cody's the dark era.
There was like the OGs, and then there was like the Wolf Pack. So yeah, two different. Anyways, thank you, Ronan, for the super chat here. It says, is Slam in Nashville this year?
According to Moose, possibly.
No announcement yet. We got to get to Rebellion.
That's what I think Moose said he was hearing, that it could be in Nashville. So it's as good as guess as any right now. It would make a lot of sense, 20-year anniversary. Maybe that's something because NWA, I think, is running some shows in Nashville at Skyway, and I think the Municipal Auditorium where they were going to have tapings. So my guess is that would probably be the venue. So no, definitely stay tuned. That's where it looks like. I think it probably will be in Nashville. It would make a lot of sense compared to, I think you should do something with some history.
True.
For 20 years. And plus,
well, then you got to include Jeff Jarrett.
And Jeff Jarrett. Oh, Jeff Jarrett's got to be there.
Swinging that guitar. Hell yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We got to get through Rebellion first, but I'm sure everything is in the works. So they kind of have to, considering the way things are. You got to plan way out just in case, whatever. But, so we'll see. But thank you, nonetheless.
Yes,
for the tip. Bill, any last thoughts on this main event before we?
Yes, I did. If you watched the reaction show, I did give a tease for the main event.
Oh, so, yeah, you were going to talk about
if you stayed around this whole time till the end, I'll give you a little tidbit from the live experience. So obviously this was a no DQ, pretty rough match. A lot of tough spots here. You had a door in the match. But as you saw the ending, you saw Joe go through part of that door and then go to the outside. After the match was over, Joe was done. He was out still. He was on the ground.
He hit the floor.
He hit the floor pretty hard.
I haven't seen biting like that from a woman since I left my ex-wife for her sister.
I'm sorry, I had to throw that window there. Continue, Bill.
But Joe was so he was out. Medical personnel had to come out. So the show, this was the main event. So the show was over. So had to wait a bit to see if Joe. It looked like Joe was actually going to have to be put on the stretcher and taken out of there. But luckily, after a while, he got up on his own power and walked off. So that's a good sign. Actually, Coach D'Amour came out after that and talked about like Big Joe Doering beat brain cancer. So like a stinger, like a neck stinger, he'll get through that. So, but this keep it.
Neck stingers are no joke. I've had one before. You can't move.
So he was down for a bit, and then he did come back. Like he was able to walk off. So that's a good sign. So hopefully we see him. We don't know for the tag match. Obviously, it could be Freebird. He may or may not be ready to go. It's only been a couple weeks, but hopefully he's doing better now, and we see what happens with Joe. But even the Big Joe Doering, who looks unbeatable, any guy can take some bumps and bruises, but as the coach said, he's already beat cancer, so I don't put anything past Big Joe.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, at least you got Eric Young and Diener can be the tag team.
They
doesn't
can.
have
That
to be
makes
Joe.
it, they don't got to worry about it.
Yeah. So either way.
Oh, and Anna here is asking about the BTI match with Brian Myers. I was chanting Ziggy Dice during BTI because we were being outlandish.
Outlandish. What was today's? They had Brian Myers versus Crazy Steve. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Brian Myers versus Crazy Steve.
All right. I'll have to watch that. I don't think they featured that at all, unless I was
not. Maybe they took the advice because they've been doing recaps of BTI on who won, but they make it so difficult to watch beforehand. I'm like, well, don't show that. Don't spoil it at least. And it looks like they did it. So maybe they changed it. So
yeah, we've been saying that. Yeah. So, well, let's run down the card quick. I don't want to take all night. This is
Sacrifice.
Yes.
Live from
Sacrifice.
Louisville.
So let me just refresh this just in case they changed anything. I don't think they did, but we'll see. Sorry. So Countdown to Sacrifice, the pre-show, half an hour live on YouTube. It's free. We got Giselle.
$3.99.
Free 9. That's the best kind of free. Free 99. Giselle Shaw. Trying to steal that spotlight from Lady Frost. Can't wait to see these two go at it. They got some unfinished business. Any picks for this one?
Lady
Giselle
Frost.
Oh, you get two different ones. Now I gotta break the tiebreaker. I'm gonna say Giselle Shaw. I'm gonna say Giselle Shaw. She's gonna do something crazy with those shades. She's gonna whip them around or something. All right. The other match on the pre-show, we've got, where is it? There it is. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett representing Honor No More versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Great to see these guys back tagging again. I'd say that is one thing about this brand is the men's tag team division is alive and well. There's plenty of tag teams going around. My pick for this is I think Rich Swann and Willie Mack are due for a big win here. But that's tough because I do like the tag team of Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. But I'm going to pick Rich and Willie. What do you guys think?
Taven and oh god,
Bennett.
Bennett. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm gonna agree with OGK, Honor No More, Taven and Bennett.
That son of a bitch.
They are on a roll lately. Quite unpredictable. We'll see. Well, last time they were all fighting, Kenny King showed up and surprised everyone. Maybe we'll have even more surprises.
Tonight.
Who knows? King. King. All right. Champ challenge from Deonna Purrazzo, defending either her Ring of Honor's women's world title or AAA Reina de Reinas.
I have no idea, and I don't care to guess.
All right.
I'm going to say Deonna wins against Wrestler X. I'll go. I got to throw a name in there. Maybe there is some kind of connection to somebody that's been in Ring of Honor before, or someone from like local, like OVW. I don't think it's going to be like a huge name. But I like I said, I'm sticking with the more. It isn't against Taya, but either Taya is there or a vignette is shown after Deonna wins the match. That's what I'm taking out of this.
On the Impactron. All right. I'd like to see Athena show up. I think that'd really be really cool. Of course, I love to see Taya. She is going to be coming back sometime soon. She's been bragging about that. She's got that new jam. She's jamming too. So we'll see. All right. X Division title on the line. Trey Miguel defending against the monster, Jake something. Super stoked about this one. Could be match of the night. Could be. Alicia, what's your take?
Jake something.
Jake and new hashtag and new. All right, Bill.
I'm going to also go with Jake something.
And I, as well, am going to go with Jake. I'm very excited for this. I'm hoping he can finally get his first title in Impact Wrestling. Be great to see. All right. Impact World Knockouts Tag Titles. The Inspiration defending finally versus the Influence. Of course, Kaleb's going to be straggling along somewhere, sheepishly, probably blushing like crazy. Alicia, what's your pick for this one?
Inspiration retains.
Okay.
Come on,
and by all means, chat. Let's hear your guesses too as we're going through this. I don't want to leave you guys out too. Bill,
J-Bone, do the pose.
The pose.
It's the Inspiration.
Oh, that pose. Okay.
Of course.
I thought you meant Cassie Lee's new pose where she turns around and points at her butt. I'm like, no one wants to see me do
pointing
that.
at the title, J-Bone. Come on.
Are you sure, Bill?
I see a Knockouts championship belt there. That's all I see. Come on.
Okay. I think the Inspiration takes this one. All right. Did I ask you, Alicia?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next, Impact World Tag Team titles. The Good Brothers defending against VBD, Violent by Design. Now, on the card here, it looks like it's going to be Eric and Joe Doering, but from what we heard, that may change.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, we'll have...
That's wrestling, baby. The card's subject to change.
Right. We'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully, Joe's there, but if not, Diener, I'm sure, will be ready. So, this one's kind of tough. You know what? I'm going to go with Good Brothers on this. I don't want to, but I'm going to go with Good Brothers just because I feel like there's like a bigger picture happening after this, and this is probably just going to be the end of this chapter. And G.O.D's not around, so we're going to see something completely different after this show. What do you think, Alicia?
I agree.
Yeah.
With nothing to add on to it, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all right.
Losing steam here.
My heart says I want to say VBD because of Big Joe. But with Big Joe being banged up, maybe not even in the match, and now knowing about WrestleMania week that it's going to be Briscoes versus Good Brothers, I think it's safe to say Impact's going to want the titles on the Good Brothers for that match. Unless they're going to lose against the Briscoes, then you don't want the belts on them. So that could be a reason to move the belts right now. So you could look at it both ways. I almost want to caveat this. If Joe wrestles in this match, VBD wins. If Joe doesn't wrestle in this match, Good Brothers win.
Oh. Are you saying this is going to be another situation where Diener takes the pin again?
Maybe not.
Because we don't like that.
Well, maybe Eric Young takes it. You never know. But I could see, and who knows, with the whole Bullet Club angle, people could get involved in this match. But we'll talk about another match where I think there's definitely going to be interference. Maybe we even get a non-finish in this match. That could happen as well.
All right. We'll see. All right. PCO versus Jonah. Two monsters going head to head at Sacrifice.
PCO.
She's going with the monster PCO. Bill.
I want to say PCO, one of my favorite wrestlers, but I don't think it's going to be his night. I think Jonah. Once again, I don't know more could get involved here too, but Jonah, I think, is going to get a massive push right now. I think he's going to get up there to a world title push in the near future. So I think he will win this match.
Like after Heath?
After Heath? That's enough out of you, Bone Man.
No, I'm just saying.
Right after Heath?
I didn't say Heath loses. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Don't assume, Bill. Don't assume.
But no, I think we're getting Jonah versus Moose long term. Like long term, as in maybe Rebellion, maybe Anniversary. But right now, if I had to bet on the Rebellion main event, I think it's Jonah versus Moose.
Certainly
or
could be.
It's the WrestleMania card. It's the WrestleCon card, Jonah versus Moose for the title.
That could be. Yeah. Or maybe Heath beats Moose and Jonah beats Heath. And Moose is, wrestling mid-card donor. I don't know. For the DM seat. I'm just blowing stuff out my ass now. All right, we continue. We'll see. Knockouts world title. Mickie James defending against Tasha Steelz.
I think I know where one go.
Tasha. Alicia says Tasha. Bill?
Mickie James.
Mickie James defends successfully. I'm going to go with Tasha. I picked Tasha before. I'm going with Tasha again because I think she eventually will have her time. All right. Eddie Edwards versus Rhino.
Eddie.
Eddie.
Bad beef here. Yeah, you know what? I think I agree. Eddie Edwards is going to get I don't know how much of a push here, but if he's considered the leader, I think he's going to come out on top. It just makes sense,
Agreed.
So, all right. But you think they're going to put any steps on this? Like,
no outside interference?
No, I meant like a no DQ or something, because considering that's how Eddie, that's how Maclin actually won. is because Eddie Edwards got disqualified.
That is interesting. You would think Maclin might get involved because Maclin's not on the card. And he just beat Eddie Edwards by DQ.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the only one that's not on
He
the
might be in the
card.
corner for Rhino, Team Impact.
He could be in his corner, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, I think Eddie's winning here, yeah. All right. Now, possibly match of the night. Very excited for this. Jay White versus the returning Alex Shelley. Shut up and take my money.
Alex Shelley.
Alex Shelley. All right. Bill?
Technically, Jay White probably wins. Shenanigans. Club interference.
Okay.
Then Chris Sabin comes in for the save.
There we go.
Motor City Machine Guns back. Next Thursday, Impact on Access TV. We're here, same time, same location. Main event, Motor City Machine Guns versus Bullet Club.
Oh my goodness. And then the gun club shows up. No, I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious.
You're going to say something, Alicia?
The only gun club that comes back is with the beautiful people.
Right. Oh, no. No, we don't want that. Go ahead, Alicia. You were going to say something?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, no, okay. Yeah, I think I have the same sentiments. I think Jay's going to win here, but we're going to get the return of the Motor City Machine Guns. Can't wait. Sabin, don't disappoint. Great to see Alex Shelley back, though. All right, main event time. Impact World Title defended by Moose versus, he's got kids, Heath.
Moose.
I don't just wear it for no effect there, Jabo. Moose.
Oh, all right. Moose. It's tough. It's tough because I love Moose. He's having a hell of a run. But I'm excited to see Heath in this position. He's had such a rough year, and this is a big comeback for him. And he's even had some great promos in the ring too.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm just gonna just to be different. I'm just gonna say Heath.
Whoa!
I'm gonna say Heath. You know. Well, and I'll throw it out like I did last time with Morrissey. You don't really know how banged up Moose is. I certainly don't want him to be, but you keep hearing these little things about how banged up Moose is. So we'll see. We'll see.
All right, we'll see, J-Bone.
We'll see. I mean, I'm not going to be mad if Moose wins. You know, I'm happy for Heath that they're giving him this opportunity because he deserves it. You know, he deserves the opportunity to at least try to prove himself like this. So, any final thoughts on the show for Saturday? And we'll wrap this sucker up.
That's loaded. Tune in. Don't miss it. If you like No Surrender, this is almost, you can think of this as the continuation almost of No Surrender.
Next chapter.
Part 2.
Something. Alicia?
I don't have anything to add. Watch it. Don't miss it.
That's right. Just watch it. Listen to Alicia.
Watch it right now.
I'm stoked. I can't wait. Loaded weekend. I'm going to be doing, hopefully, I'm planning on doing a live reaction and then a review with the crew. So, you know, we'll watch. Maybe we'll have some surprises, but nonetheless, the card is stacked and can't wait. Saturday, this Sunday can't come fast enough. Yeah, no surrender night too. There you go. So, but yeah, let's go around the horn and do the socials, and we'll get out of here. Alicia, where can they find you?
It's a surprise under the handle Alicia B. Kinky.
It's a surprise. Surprise! All right, Bill.
That's my name, William M. Gardner, on the Twitter and the Instagram. And as we were doing in the live reaction, someone mentioned the media tour coming to Philly next week, next Thursday. They'll be at the Rocky Steps. I believe Deanna Parazzo, Rhino, and Tom Hannafin. So there's like, get that on your gram. So maybe I'll take a little picture Rooney, or maybe even a short video. Go to that and do that. So stay tuned.
We want to see Bill run the steps. You better be in full sweatshirt, sweatpants, gear mode, bandana on. And,
I'll run Italian market first. Throw me an orange.
Someone's going to carry the music behind you. We got to see it, Bill. You don't disappoint. Don't disappoint. We'll make it a Patreon exclusive if you do. All right. You can find me over in that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where I'll be covering AEW this weekend. If you're a fan of AEW, I'll be covering Revolution. Same as I'm going to be covering Sacrifice on Saturday. So tune in there. You can also find me on the Twitter box, JBone5150. And you can find this show on YouTube, Twitch, and wherever you get your podcast audio, Apple iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, Spotify, SoundCloud, Pandora. Just type in We Talk Impact, and you'll find the Total Nonstop Impact podcast right at your fingertips. All right, so we'll see you guys on Saturday for Sacrifice, and take care. See you this weekend. Much love, everyone. Thanks for the tips, the bits, and the subs, and all that stuff.
Yay!
See ya.